Hi, hello, welcome. My name's Randy. I love everything crochet. And if you love everything crochet, you should definitely subscribe to my channel and go to the description down below and follow my Instagram. As well as if you love everything Halloween, I have a lot of Halloween tutorials, hopefully to come. Hopefully I have enough time to do all of them. But today I have one that I would say is pretty beginner friendly and I think is like a cute, slightly unique take on a classic Halloween icon, something perfect for if you want something larger to take to a market this year. This will be good because it really didn't take me much time at all. It probably took me about like 2.5 to 3 hours, if that, to make this. So if you are someone who has a day off and are crocheting, you could probably make potentially 3 of these for a market in a day. And it is a pretty good project for if you want to try using fluffy yarn for the first time, because he looks super adorable as fluffy yarn. Now, I will say, I always try and say this now in my videos, I start out a little slow with my tutorial because I'm explaining how I phrase things just for clarification as the video goes on, and then it picks up with that being said. Now, let's look at what we're making today. This is a Cuddly Ghost Friend. He is slightly customizable. One, you can of course make him in whatever color you like. I just had extra white. You can make the face however you want. I use safety eyes. You can embroider on the eyes. You can adjust the arms. But yes, we are making a like cuddly, like emotional support ghost for this Halloween. You could also add hats. That would be very, very cute. He is very simple, very basic. You need to know how to expand, to do a magic ring, expand rounds, and then also reduce rounds. For both the arms and the body, the embroidery is technically optional, but definitely recommended. Now, I only used single crochet stitches in this. I did not include that in the start of the video, and I will link everything I used, well, not link, but put everything I used in the description down below. I have talked long enough. I'm obsessed with this guy. Let's go ahead and get started on the tutorial. To start for this project, you need your yarn you're gonna use. This is the yarn I'm gonna use. It is in the color cream. It's just showing the color code on this one. I'm gonna use a 5.5 millimeter hook and a stitch marker. And to start, we're gonna do a magic ring. I'm not very good at a magic ring, so I always do starting chain of 4, put my hook through the first stitch, and weave it together, get a circle, just like a magic ring. And then I'm gonna put 8, I believe 8 is how many I use with this yarn, stitches into the center. It's gonna be very hard to see because of the fluffy yarn, but we're going to do 8, so 3, 4, 5, 6, yep, we want to do 8, 7, 8, and if you are using a different kind of yarn, you just want to have either 6 or 8 where you're basically touching your first stitch. And now we are going to double up our stitches, and I will use the term put 2 stitches into one throughout the expanding process. And basically what that means is I just put a stitch in the first stitch from the previous round, and now I'm going to go back into that same round or same stitch from the previous round and put a second stitch in. So each stitch from the previous round will have 2 stitches for this round in it, taking my stitch count from 8 to 16. It is just a term that I have used. I know it might not be perfectly proper, but that is what we are going to use. And then once again, we are going to do 2 stitches into our first. So 1, then go back into that same stitch from the previous round, and then we're going to do a single stitch, which just means 1 stitch into the first one, and then 2 stitches into the following, and then 1 single in the next. And we are going to repeat that pattern all the way around to the last stitch. So that will kind of be the template for how I will communicate increases throughout this video. 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, then 1, 2 single, repeating the pattern all the way. Next round, 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, then 1, 2, 3 single, repeating all the way. Next round, 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, then 5 single, repeating the pattern all the way. Next round, 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, then 6 single, repeating all the way around. This is our last round of expanding. So this is the top of the head, and then we want to start building what I guess you consider the body of our ghost friend here. So we are just going to do a single stitch in every stitch. So I'm going to mark my first stitch, and I'm just, in every stitch from the previous round, just put 1 single stitch. And I'm going to do this for a to be determined amount of rounds, because I don't know how long I want this to be yet. I will have to visually do it. So this will be round 1, and then I'll update you in the next clip how many rounds I do in total. I'm about to finish round 11, but I finished my first skein of yarn, so I'm going to add in my second skein of yarn here. So how I like to add my yarn is I do a little loop here. I already pulled through this stitch, then I pull the new skein through there, and then I tie it off the 2 ends together, and then I start crocheting with the new skein of yarn. Plus, I've already done 11 rounds, like I'm finishing my 11th round. I have 1 stitch left here. And I think I'm only going to do a few more before we start tapering in here. So I think I'm going to do a couple, maybe 1 or 2 more, and then we'll start tapering in for kind of the teardrop shape. I have done 13 rounds of staying the same, so a single stitch in every stitch, which creates kind of this body, so to speak. He's a ghost. He doesn't technically have a body, I guess. But now we are going to start reducing, and we're going to reduce very slowly, because if we reduce too quickly, it would round it out, and we want more of like a pointed shape. So we're gonna work on doing that slowly, but we will go ahead and start. And we're gonna reduce our stitches here. It's gonna be very hard to tell because it's fluffy yarn, but we're gonna go into our first stitch, pull a loop through, go into the second stitch from the previous round, pull a loop through. So we have 3 loops on our working loop from the first, from the second. Then we're going to take our yarn and pull it all the way through every single loop, creating 1 single stitch. So we have reduced 2 stitches into 1. So that is a term I will use throughout this video. And then we will go 1, whoops, let me not lose my yarn here. We will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm doing 8 because, like I said, I want to gradually reduce down here. And then we're gonna once again reduce 2 stitches into 1, so pull through the next loop and the following loop, reducing all into 1 single stitch, and then 8 single crochet stitches. And you're gonna repeat that pattern to the best of your ability all the way around. It probably will not complete, so it just whatever it ends at. Unfortunately, when you switch up your numbers, that does. We are going to reduce again. We're going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then we're going to do 7 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 7 single, and you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. Now for the next round, we're just going to put a single stitch in every stitch, repeating all the way around because we don't want to, like I said, reduce too quickly and end up with a circle. So we're gonna do a round of a single stitch in every stitch. And then I'm going to do another round of a single stitch in every stitch, repeating all the way around. So that means we do 2 in total. After those 2 rounds of staying the same, we are going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 6 single, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 6 single, repeating the pattern all the way around. Next round, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 5 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 5 single, repeating all the way around. And now once again, we're going to do 2 rounds of staying the same, so a single stitch in every stitch, repeating all the way around for 2 rounds. I went ahead and added 16mm safety eyes. I did that just for the ease of this project. You can embroider on eyes, and that way if you embroider on eyes, you can also customize the faces and stuff like this many ways. And then I'm just gonna do a simple face. You wanna use, if you're using fluffy yarn, you wanna use a nice thick acrylic, and then we don't wanna pull it all the way through here. I'm just going to do a small simple face. Try and not have it be crooked either. And I am going to add little, almost like, I guess like dimples or cheeks, however you want to look at it here. So I'm going to do this side, then I'm going to go to this side and add them too. Here's little dimples. And that will be his face. I went ahead and stuffed it quite a bit because the opening's large enough. It makes it a little easier to maneuver everything around. I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 4 single, repeating the pattern all the way around. Reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, 3 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 3 single, repeating all the way around. Next I'm going to do a round of single stitches, so 1 for 1 all the way around. This time I only did 1 round of staying the same because we are getting to the end. Then I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 2 single, then reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2 single, repeating all the way around. Next round we're going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then a single, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then a single, repeating all the way around. Next round just a single stitch in every stitch, repeating all the way around. And I have been stuffing as I go because you do want this firmly stuffed. But the very last round we'll do is reduce 2 stitches into 1, reduce 2 stitches into 1, reduce 2 stitches into 1, all the way around, and then we'll pull it tight and closed. Okay, now this is not how I normally seal up my plushies, but because of the shape and how I want it to end, this is how I will be closing up this time. So I'm gonna go straight across. So from where my tail is, straight across into the top stitch here, and pull it tight, and then I'm going to pull across, and I'm just going to kind of like zigzag into the top stitch, so the very top of the last row, and I'm just going to make sure it's sealed all the way across here. It's nearly impossible to see because I'm using fluffy yarn, but that is how I am sealing it. Like I said, this is not my traditional way of sealing up plushies, but because I kind of want it to have like a more like pointed / like defined end, I did not want to have it be too round. And there we go. So that kind of gives the look I was going for, and now we just need to make the arms. For the arms, we are going to start with our magic ring, and then once I find the center here we go. I'm going to insert, 8 stitches. Oh, if it cooperates, then I will do 8 stitches into the center here, just like I did with the top of the head of the ghost. And once you do your 8 stitches into the center, we're going to double up our stitches. So we're going to put 2 stitches in every stitch, turning 8 into 16. So 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, and we're gonna go all the way around. And once you have your 16 stitches, we're gonna remove our stitch marker, and we're just gonna do a single stitch in every stitch. So we'll have another round of 16, and we're going to do that for a total of 7 rounds, or I guess I should say I'm gonna do that for a total of 7 rounds. This is a completely customizable spot. This is where, like the face, you can make it unique, your own, or if you're making these for a market, you can make them their own unique piece. You can make the arms longer or shorter. I made mine kind of short because I kind of liked the idea of his arms slightly sticking out and being short and chunky. So that's why I only did 7 rounds. If you want them even shorter, which I think would be very cute, you can do less rounds. If you want them longer and kind of stick out where they'll kind of comfortably sit over your arm when you're cuddling with him, you can do that as well. You'll just want to do more. But for the one I am making right now, I am going to do 7 rounds. This part is also optional, whether or not you want to stuff the arms. So I am going to stuff mine, but also a cute idea would be to leave them extra floppy, where we kind of like weave like a beanie and back and forth through the top, pulling it tight, where they are just loose, or putting beans in it and having them loose and floppy. I am going to stuff mine though, so they are a little firm, because like I said, I want them to stick out some. And then I'm going to just use the tail, which I should have mentioned. You want to leave like a decent sized tail to attach. And then also where you attach is optional. You can do here, you can do off to the side, which I think would be very cute, where it's kind of dropped low, sitting closer to the body. I'm going to do mine right about here. And I'm going to weave just all the way around with the tail, securing the arm onto the body. And I'm just gonna go through I'm gonna weave back and forth, and I'm just going to go through the top stitch and then weave through 1 or 2 top stitches across the body. I'm going to do that all the way around for both pieces. And then once you attach both arms and weave in the base and the yarn from the arms, your little cuddly ghost is done. His little arms can sit nicely over your arm while you're cuddling with him, which I think is just such an underrated thing. I feel like not enough like crochet plushies are made to cuddle, which is exactly the point of this. I feel like this can definitely be beginner friendly. Let me get my words right. Be beginner friendly as long as you have some experience with doing rounds and a little bit of sewing, a little bit of embroidery, and then like I said, you can just use safety eyes. So yes, here is our little ghost friend. He is done. If you made him, I'm gonna once again request that you tag me in the post. I have my Instagram linked down below, so please go tag me in it if you make a post. My gosh, words are not working for me this morning. Or send me a picture on Instagram, because I would love to see your take on this little ghost, as well as you should subscribe to my channel and go follow my Instagram. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!